How's it going, guys? I went for a walk today because it just felt very nice outside. It has that cool breeze where it's almost too cold to walk outside and just be yourself without having a jacket on or anything, but I tend to like it when it's a little colder, and normally when it's too cold for everyone else, that's when I like it, and I like to go out for walks. And since I have not really done much with this channel as of late, but I originally had the intention of making this channel a more personal outlet, because I don't want my main channel with over 2,000 subscribers to be a place where I just moan and whine and complain about my life problems, or just talk about things that aren't necessarily interesting to everyone. I figured maybe what I'll do is every Sunday, because today is Sunday, and Sunday is basically the end of the week, maybe I'll just make a video here every week at Sunday and just talk about life as a whole during the past week and my experiences with it. I'm not sure how many people will actually be interested, but I figured it's something worth doing, and those who are interested and want things to come out on here and want more content from me, since I can't really rush myself in terms of making content for the other channel, coming up with topics that I can discuss. Because I tend to feel if I don't take enough time to really think about what I'm discussing, it feels more contrived, and it doesn't feel as articulate or powerful in no sense. I find that when I'm in a span where I'm forcing myself to make video after video after video, the videos I make tend to not be as good as I would like them to be. That's just my personal experience, though. I guess I'm almost curious why people watch me, in a sense. Not even me, though. Watch anyone. Think about it. There's probably people that you watch on YouTube regularly, right? Why do you watch those people instead of other people? It's an interesting thought, because any reason you would have for watching any one person or any 10 people that you do, there's going to be other people out there that you could watch as well. I know why I like watching people at all, because I like the idea of following someone and supporting them, since for most people, YouTube is either a steady source of income which can help them with their life. Sometimes it can function as a job, sometimes it just functions to pay a bill or two, or it can just be a fun hobby that they do, something that they enjoy, something that gives them passion in life. And by regularly supporting them, giving them that view, that like, that comment, you're helping boost their self-esteem and motivating them to make great content. It's almost like an investment, like they're going to make better content in the future because of you, because of the time you give them, the motivation to actually make something. But when it comes to what makes people watch other YouTubers, it's a mystery to me. And it's very puzzling, because I want to know what I can do to make the people who run into me, yet don't subscribe to me, take a better interest. Is there something I could be doing different? Is there some way I could improve myself and make myself a better person, and thus a better vlogger, I suppose? Just a thought of mine. So, I also have a job interview, or a job orientation actually. I got the job. It's on Tuesday, and it's at Walmart. A couple of people said, "Oh, you have a job? What's it like? Is it going to be awesome?" And it's nothing special. It's not anything awesome that's going to revolutionize my life. I feel like many people my age are starting to get internships and such. Things that actually matter, which I wasn't able to get one, which is a little depressing. I do get worried that I'm going to end up in a point where I just can't get a job and I fall behind in the workforce, or whatever may happen. Especially when you look at many European countries, because Europe is the area of the world that's closest to the US, and some European countries have over 50% unemployment in young adults, or some demographic, some statistic like that. Just ridiculous numbers of people who are not being able to get excuse me, people who are not able to get along in the system. And that's a very terrifying idea for me personally, because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be resourceful enough to get along, especially starting in Walmart, which most people view as the bottom of the barrel. Even though I've done work before, I'm going to work at Walmart as my new job. It's not necessarily depressing, because I know it's going to be temporary, but still, it's sort of a demotivating factor of life, I suppose. Just a thought that I've been having. Because it is there, it's definitely a fear of mine. I think it's a fear of everyone who's my age, in my age demographic. What's my life going to be like in 10 years, in 20 years? Especially since just the way that people's minds and their prejudices tend to work. Normally, people make the majority of their income growth during the first 10 years of being in the labor force, or that age gap where they would be within the labor force. So if I just don't have a job, or I have a very poor job, that could hurt my ability to make an income and actually establish a life for myself. That's going to be a terrifying thought for anyone who is rational and looks at the world, sees the painting on the wall, you know? Last night, I feel like I almost had an anxiety attack, I suppose. I'm not sure why. I guess I get one once in a while, like once every couple months or so, just because I was trying to go to bed earlier. My orientation for Walmart starts at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, so I've been trying to get myself in a more regular sleep schedule. In order to do that, I went to sleep earlier, and when I lay down, I tend to think about stuff. I just get my mind turning until I get exhausted and fall asleep. But the earlier you go to bed, the more wide awake your mind is because you're not used to going to sleep that early, and the longer you lay there thinking. And I just thought about life, how I don't feel like I'm necessarily achieving anything grand, about how I haven't made a lot of connections necessarily, I haven't developed a lot of skills. If I were 20 years from now and I was looking back at now as the good old days, I'm not necessarily sure what I could label as good, what I could be nostalgic for. But since I do tend to be a nostalgic person, I was afraid that I'm just going to look at a time where I do nothing as my good old days, as if this is still the peak of my life, no matter what, and I'm going to go downhill from here. Especially since I tend to not be very happy about my life. Not in a depressed, I hate my life type of manner, but just a fear. Like I said, we have a lot of fears, and they aren't all rational, but they're there, and they still affect us. So that happened. I felt like I had an anxiety attack. My breathing got really weird. I had to get a drink of water. That was my life for a while. It's really weird to say that you have an anxiety problem, which I don't know if I do. I'm not claiming to or anything. It's just that's always a problem in and of itself, because anything that's a mental problem can be labeled as a mental illness, which of course makes you appear to be mentally unstable or unfit to be in society. Since humans are social creatures, we have the innate desire to relate to people in any manner we can at all. So if you do something to alienate yourself from the rest of society, you can almost feel like a failure in life, which to me would be terrifying, to feel like you just failed in your existence and your mission as a human. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with the mentality or that I agree that it applies to me. I'm just saying it's out there. And as I've said, fear is a real thing. Fear isn't logical, but it's real. And I shouldn't be this out of shape just from talking and walking. My arm is very sore though. I'm not used to holding the camera out this long. That's why it's getting shaky. But I suppose that's all I have to say for this week. I don't know if I'm going to do it again next week, but if I do, I suppose I'll see you then. Have a nice day.